Okay, today's share is chis for Akiva Simcha Mefega, for Aziva Hugen for Chava Basmim, Aziva Hugen for Ahuva Basmim, and for Davidai Debed Penina Peril. Also, we'd like to thank the anonymous sponsor for sponsoring tonight's Kegel and Schunt. So thank you. We're gonna start now from Chav Gimel Amud Beis on the top. It's the first line, the last, second to last word in the line. Umi Amar Abaya. Basically, to recap yesterday, we'll recap a drop outside, and we're going to try to just explain. The Gemara is going to go a few times. It's going to jump from these three things. It's going to jump from our Gemara of Sukkah. It's going to talk about the case of Bas Yisrael that married a Kayin, and it's going to talk about the Bekias Hanoid, meaning the barrel, the jug, that basically the person separated the Truma Meiser, the concern if it breaks or not. So we're going to go through these three things, and we're going to see it inside. It's Cheskizan. We're going to see it inside. It's relatively simple. However, it may be a little bit of back and forth. So try to pay attention, a drop more, and we're going to get it. Okay. All right. Are they ready? Yeah. Let's go. Umi Amar Abaya. So Umi Amar Abaya, Remeir Chash, Miso of Rabbi Yehuda Chash. Did Remeir really say that Remeir is chayish for Misa, Rabbi Yehuda does not? I'm going to show you. The Gemara is going to say, I'm going to show you a case where it's the opposite. So how do we get there? Tanan. We have a Mishnah in Gittin. Bas Yisrael shenisas l'koyin v'holach ba'al l'medinas yam. A Bas Yisrael, this is the chazor from yesterday. A Bas Yisrael that marries a koyin and her husband goes to Medinas Yam. A chelz b'truma. She eats truma b'chezkas shehu kayim. She eats truma with the chazaka. A person has a chazaka that he's going to stay alive. That, again, we'll go based off that. When he left, he was alive. We're going to go based off that. She can eat truma. Now we're going to bring a stira to this. Over there in Gittin, we bring a brisa that says the opposite of what we just said, which is uramin on Allah. We're going to bring a stira on this. Harei zagitech ad shah achas koydem misasi asura lechol b'truma miad. So what? If a person says, meaning this kohen, before he leaves, he gives her a get. Now, with Gittin, you're able to give stipulations. You're able to say, okay, I'm giving this get on this condition, this condition. But again, as long as there's a crisis, as long as there's a cutoff, there can't be open-ended. So, he gives her a get, and the stipulation he puts in is, okay, the get is chal a moment before I die, an hour before I die, whatever he says. When he says it, at that moment that she receives this get, she's no longer allowed to eat truma, even though he just left. He's probably definitely alive, right? And what? And the get's nachal. But why can't she eat truma? Because they're concerned that this may be that moment where he dies. So we're concerned, and obviously we see from here that this man Amar, whoever says this, is chayish from Misa. First one is not, second one is. So now, Va'amar Abaya, and Abaya is the one over there in Gittin that sort of reconciles. And he says it's loy kasha, it's not a kasha. Harameir de loy chash lemisa, Harabiuda de chayish lemisa. So what do we see? By us, we said Remeir is chayish. Over there in Gittin, Abaya says Remeir is not chayish. So Abaya is reconciling in two separate places, and it's a stira one to the next, meaning from both. So now we're going to ask the question, meaning the Gemara is really going to answer without asking, but okay, where do we know? Where did Abaya get who says what? Where did Abaya get that by the case of the husband going to Medinas Yam and she's miyad, he gives her the get, and miyad she can't eat, and he says that's Rabbi Yehuda that's chayish from Misa, and the first case that the husband leaves and she's able to eat, that it's Remeir that's lo chayish. How does he know who said what? So now we're going to bring a brisa to tell us who said what. And in this brisa, it's going to clearly say each person's position, and once we say the position, we understand. Obviously, we know who says what. So now, what?
In any case, he can always be there if she's not with him.
No, because so that's what we're saying. The first manam which we're saying right now is Remeir. He does not suspect, which means that basically we assume that you're not dead. The person, he has a chazak and he's not dead. There's no reason to think he's dead, and the other mandamar thinks he is. The time not thinks he is, but thinks that this could be the moment before he dies, so we have to lock it up. So the Tani, we have a brisa. Halekech yain mi ben akutim. Now somebody asked yesterday why the setup for the kutim, and Rashi actually explains it very clear and simple. Why the kutim? So Rashi says, Kodim shegozra aleim Keda Aminon Behakal Sheichten. Basically, Rashi says this is before the Gzera. Now, a little bit further, if you look, the next Rashi, by Omer Shnei Lugin Shani Yasid Lifarish, and he says, Vahai Dinaket. If you go right after, there's like a dot, right after the dot, Vahai Dinaket Kutim, and this that he chose Kutim. Why did we choose them? Ashminan de Gruenhain Me'am Haaretz. They're worse than Am Haaretz. Why? Because in Am Haaretz, Midaraisa, you assume that they did take Truma. Kutim, these are people, well, not Dafkaniks, technically yes, but these are people that it was throughout Shas, it's contested if they did proper gerus or not. They came to Klal Yisrael because they had certain problems, and they decided, okay, let's become Yidden, and these problems are going to stop. There was animals killing them or whatever it was, so they found a loophole. A what? Opportunists, yeah. So they decided to become Yidden. What happened was they never fully embraced Yiddishkeit, and there were many things that they didn't do. For instance, one of the things we were always choshed them that they would, for a profit, they would just sell without doing truma because it's your problem, not my problem. They also later on did avodah zarah. So what happened was, it came to a point that they basically said the Rabbanon are goyzer on them. You can't trust them at all. So we chose them because they're less trustworthy than Am Haaretz. So now what happens? This person comes and he says, Tanya, somebody comes to take wine from the kutim. That he says that these 2 lugan, why 2 lugan? Imagine a person has 100 lug of, let's use a simple number, 100 lug of wine in a barrel. Now he's stuck, it's coming Shabbos, he has no way to separate it. He wants to use this for Kiddush, Havdullah, whatever it is. You can't be mafresh on Shabbos. So he wants to take Truma. So what does he do? He says, HareAmishnei Lugan Shani Yasid Lifarish, Hare and Truma. Asara Meiser Rishon, Tisha Meiser Sheni. And like we said, there's the breakdown of each one. Umeichal v'shoysa miyad. And he can redeem it and drink it immediately. Divrei Rav Meir. These are the words of Rav Meir. So what does it mean immediately? Meichal, basically, Meiser Sheni is for yourself. Like we showed over here, just one more time to remember. There is Truma Gedola, that's 2%. Meiser Rishon goes to the Levi, and then Trumas Meiser and Meiser Sheni. So Meiser Sheni, when it's Meiser Sheni by 1, 2, 4, and 5, it's for you. So you can immediately redeem it to money. You take the wine and you say, I'm transferring it over to the money, and you could have it right away and you can enjoy it right away. The Truma and all that stuff, you were mafresh, you said I'm going to be mafresh it, but the reason why you could, according to a mayor, is there's a concept called breira. I know this is going to be a bunch of... Breira is very simple. It's retroactive. Just to think of it as retroactive. I have this cup right here. This cup has 7 ounces. I'm being mafresh 1 ounce. So how do you know which ounce is what? You say, I'm drinking. Breira says that on Matzah Shabbos, the 1 ounce that I didn't drink, that's the ounce that I was mafresh. That's the ounce that I was mekadesh. The rest was not. That's the concept of Breira. Retroactively, this is good. So Rav Meir says you're allowed to do it for that reason. Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Shimon, Oisrin. Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Shimon, they aser you to do this. Why? We're under the assumption, Breira, they don't hold of it. And remember, we're sticking with the Rabbi Yehuda part because that's what we constantly were going back and forth. Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yehuda.
What does it have to do with the Sukka?
It has to do with Sukka it's a good question, because we said by Sukka that you cannot use an animal for the wall of Sukka. Rav Meir said you can't use an animal. So we want to understand, did Abaya really say that Rav Meir said the reason why you can't use it is because it died? So we got into this whole thing. We'll choose it after.
Do we count it or not?
We'll go through that.
So we're bringing it out.
Yeah. So we're bringing questions and ayahs on it. Fine, very good. So Eipach. So we say, let's switch. We just brought the case from, this is called B'kiyas Anoid, this sugi that we just said with the jug. Why? Because in a minute we're going to see the concern really is if the barrel is going to break. Right? Chayash Misa, not Chayash Misa. Is the barrel going to break? Because you say, Breira, what happens if it breaks? Then you just drank Tevel. It's a problem. So, we say, Eipach. This Eipach means, Abayas, let's switch where Abayas is learning out. This is the part to just hold Cheshbon one more time. We had a Mishnah in Gittin, and we had a Brisa in Gittin. The Mishnah in Bit Gittin was Bas Yisrael, right? Was talking about the daughter of a Bas Yisrael, meaning a Yisraelis that married a Kohen, right? She can eat truma because of the chazaka. And then there's another case right after, he gave her a get, right? We try to understand, how does Abaye know who says what? We wanted to bring the proof from this barrel, this yayin, the truma. We say, don't bring it from there. Epoch, bring it from someplace else. Where's the someplace else? Bring the proof from our Gemara. Our Gemara of where a mayor says, Chayash Lamisa, that's why you can't use it for a wall. Let's bring the proof to the case in Gittin. So basically, it's like a triangle. We have our Gemara. We brought a case in Gittin. We then brought a case of the barrels of wine. Now we're switching. Instead of using the case of barrels of wine for the case of Gittin, use our Gemara. It's a little bit of a triangle. It's not that complicated, but it's just like, I wish I could have done a chart to clarify better. Anyways, so he says like this, Epoch, let's say the opposite. Rameir Chayash Lamisa, Rabbi Yehuda Lo Chayash Lamisa. Why? How do we know? The Tanya, because we have a Braisa Bayas, Asad lebehima doifen, someone who makes a behima for a wall, a sukkah, Rameir Paisel, Rabbi Yehuda Machsher. So we see clearly, Rameir is Chayash Lamisa, Rabbi Yehuda does not. So by the case by over there, by Gittin, the one who says that she could eat is the one that's not Chayash Lamisa, the one that says she can't eat is the one that says we are Chayash Lamisa. Fine. So now we're going to say like this. Kasha, this is the new Gemara. Kasha de Meir ad Meir. Why? Because once we introduced this whole case of Bekias Hanoid, which again is the wine, once we introduced this, now over there, this new brisa clearly states Umeichel v'shosim yad de Meir. Meir says you're allowed to drink from it right away. So once we introduce this, 1 minute, by our case, Rameir is Chayash from Isa. Over here, why does Rameir say you could drink it right away? Because he doesn't believe the barrel will break. Right? What's the concern? The concern is this barrel will break over Shabbos, then you drink, and what happens is you drink tevel. It's a problem. So now, this case, Rameir says you're allowed to drink it. Obviously he holds, he's not Chayash that the barrel will break. Now, think about it. What's more common? Animal or a person to die, or a barrel to break?
Barrel to break.
What?
Animal dies, barrel to break.
That's the answer. You know why? Because all animals die, not all barrels break. So it's more common. That's exactly it. You switch, but you got it right in the end. No.
Barrels from back in the day.
This not everything breaks. Every person, every animal dies. Not every barrel breaks.
That's the scary.
Exactly. So that's why. That's why he says. So we're going to ask. So we have a steer. The mayor says over there by us, the person's going to die. Over here, he's not. Fine.
Why do we bring on the case?
What? We brought it in to bring a proof. Then we said, let's not use this.
Right.
So what should we? We brought it in. It's part of the conversation. So we brought it in. Once it's here, now we have a problem. Now we're stuck. Once it's here, you have to answer it.
Time span.
What?
What time span are we? What dies quicker? What breaks quicker? What dies quicker?
In general, people die. Not every barrel breaks.
Trees older than you.
That's it.
Span.
Doesn't matter. Everybody dies. Everybody.
Yeah, but a time span.
Besides for 4 people. Anybody knows who the 4 people were that didn't die?
Jars.
No, 4 people didn't die. Anybody knows who they didn't? Who they were? No. I'm sorry. Not didn't die. I meant to ask a different question. I'm sorry. You're right. I meant to ask who died because of Chet Adam Rishon and didn't do Averos. That was the question because I had the 4 people in mind. But that was right. Who never did Avera and died because of because of Chet Adam Rishon, because of the
Moshe's father.
Yes. Amram. Very good. Moshe's father. Who else? Who else?
Oh, I got one. Chill. There's 4.
There's one person. No, Yaakovinu died. There's a Gemara that says he didn't, but he did. And according to these, there's one person whose son and father never did Avera. A very famous person.
His son and father?
His son and his father never. Who? No. David HaMelech. His father Yishai never did Avera, and his son Kilav never did. Kilav. He made mistakes. He had stuff. No, he did Shiva, but he made mistakes. These people did. So the question is, why is somebody like David HaMelech more famous than these four people? Why?
You have to do a
No, that's exactly it. Because the people who never did Averis, they sat and learned the whole day. They weren't really interacting. They weren't leaders. The leaders, David HaMelech, he was a king. He had to go out there. He had to make rules. He had to make laws. He had to enforce things. And you make mistakes when you're out and about. You can make mistakes. Whatever it was. Anyways, no, I don't go down that road. David HaMelech is a tremendous tzaddik. The fourth one was Binyamin. The fourth one's Binyamin. Binyamin never did a chet. Okay, guys, back into this. Weiter. Let's go.
What does this all have to do with Sukka?
Now we're back into it. After, yeah, exactly. By the way, if you go to Colombia to Fashishvi, now you're asking questions. Okay. So where are we? We're up to Akasha de Remeir, Amalach Remeir, Misa. Remeir comes to answer. Misa Shchicha. Dying is more common, like we just said. B'kias hanoid lo shchicha. Why? Because not all barrels break. And he gave it over to a shimer. He tells someone, watch this, make sure it doesn't break. I'm coming back to get it. It's not a big deal. So that's why it's not a stira on a mare. Now we're going to say the same thing. Kash Rabbi Yehuda. Why? In reverse. Rabbi Yehuda holds the exact opposite of a mare. So if you have questions on a mare, we have questions on Rabbi Yehuda. So what does Rabbi Yehuda say? He's not concerned about the barrel breaking. The reason why he said you can't do it is because he doesn't hold this concept. He says, don't tell me that you have this cup over here full of 7 ounces, whatever, and you're going to say that the 6 ounces that you drank over Shabbos did not have chum in it. The 1 ounce that you didn't drink, that's the 1 ounce that you were mafresh. He doesn't hold this thing, and that's why he says it's no good. Not because it's going to break. So therefore, it's not a stira. So I guess, you know what? We're going to leave it off over here. Rabbi say, no, not yet. No, now we have to do the quick chazar. Okay, let's go. Where did we get up to yesterday? Epoch. We're going to do a quick chazar. Epoch. Let's say the opposite. Abaya again. Abaya switched it, and Abaya says, Abaya didn't switch it. Let's say that it's the other people, otherwise we can't reconcile it properly. So what are we going to say? We're going to learn, instead of learning it from the Bekias Hanoid, from the barrel case, let's learn it from our Mishnah. Remeir Chayesh Lamisa, Rabbi Yehuda Lo Chayesh Lamisa. The Tanya. Why? Because we have a brisa by us. Absal lebehem adayfen l'sukkah. Remeir Paisel. Rabbi Yehuda Machsher. Remeir passes it. Rabbi Yehuda says kosher. Kash de Remeir, like we said. Obviously now we have a steer. Remeir holds by us. Chayesh Lamisa. Remeir holds by the barrel breaking. You're allowed to drink from it. Not Chayesh Lamisa. So it's a stira. Shamalach Remeir Misa Shchicha. B'kias Hanoid Lo Shchicha. Like we said, dying is much more common. Everyone dies. B'kias hanoid, barrels breaking is not so common. Not all of them break. After the masal shimer, and also you could have given it over to a shimer, so it's more protected. No matter what you do, can't protect someone. It's time to go. Kash Rabbi Yehuda. Somebody said the same thing for Rabbi Yehuda. He has, by our case, by using an animal for the wall, he says it's okay, meaning he's not chash from Misa. By the case of the barrel, he says you're not allowed to drink, you're not allowed to do that. So which means he is chayesh that it's going to break, and that's a stira. So we say no. Time of Rabbi Yehuda lav mishum dechayesh lebikias hanoid. His reason is not because he's chayesh for it breaking. Ella mishum de lesle breira. He's concerned about this concept of breira. He says it doesn't work. V'lo chayesh Rabbi Yehuda lebikias hanoid. That's what we got up to. Rabbi say, keep doing the chazara. I know we did today and yesterday big chunks, but it was all connected. In Mitzvah Shem, we'll do the weekly chazara again. Have a wonderful Shabbos. Thank you again to the anonymous sponsor. Good Shabbos. No, that's it.
Anonymous sponsors get them right then. After the... Hit the camera.
Oh.